Unexplainable Reddit Stories. Jake Morrison was a moderator for our Unexplained event, one of Reddit's most popular forums for paranormal experiences and strange occurrences. For 3 years, he'd read thousands of posts. Most were creative fiction, some were misidentified natural phenomena, and a very small percentage seemed genuinely unexplainable. But the post that appeared on October 13th at 3:33 a.m. was different. The username was You Help Me Understand, and the account had been created that same night. The post title was simple: My apartment is changing and no one else notices. Jake almost deleted it. It sounded like another schizophrenia-related post that needed mental health resources rather than paranormal investigation. But something made him read it. I need help understanding what's happening to me. The post began, For the past week, my apartment has been changing. Not in big ways, small things. The door to my bedroom is 3 inches to the left of where it used to be. I know because I used to hit my shoulder on the frame every morning. Now I don't. The bathroom sink is lower. I have to bend more to wash my face. The window in my living room is smaller. Not dramatically, but enough that the amount of sunlight coming in has changed. Jake continued reading. His interest piqued. This was detailed, specific, not the vague ramblings typical of mental health episodes. The worst part is that no one else notices. I've had friends over. My landlord came to fix a thermostat, and they all act like everything is normal. I took photos of my apartment when I first moved in 6 months ago. When I compare them to now, the differences are clear. But when I show people, they say the photos look identical. Am I going crazy? Jake scrolled down to the comments section and saw that You Help Me Understand had uploaded comparison photos. Jake opened them side by side, studying them carefully. The original move-in photo showed a standard apartment, bedroom door centered in the hallway, standard bathroom fixtures, a large living room window. The recent photos showed the same apartment, but Jake could see what the poster meant. The door was slightly off-center. The sink did look lower. The window was noticeably smaller. But when Jake tried to show his girlfriend later that morning, she insisted the photos looked identical. Jake, they're the same picture taken from slightly different angles. That's all. Jake went back to the post throughout the day, watching as other users commented. Most agreed with his girlfriend. They couldn't see any differences between the photos. But a few, maybe 1 in 20, said they could see the changes clearly. I see it too, wrote You Pattern Seeker. The differences are obvious. OP, I think you're experiencing dimensional drift. Jake had never heard that term before. He searched Reddit and found only one other mention, a post from 4 years ago by a user whose account had since been deleted. That post described the same phenomenon: small, progressive changes to a living space that only some people could perceive. That deleted post had ended with, If this happens to you, leave immediately. Don't try to understand it. Don't try to fight it. Just leave. I'm posting this as a warning before. The post cut off mid-sentence. The user had never posted again. Jake sent a direct message to You Help Me Understand. I'm a moderator, and I believe your experience is real. Have you considered leaving your apartment? The response came back within minutes. I tried. I can't. Not in the way you think. I can physically leave, go to work, visit friends, run errands. But every night, no matter where I go, I wake up back in my apartment. I spend the night at my parents' house, at my girlfriend's place, in a hotel room. Every time, I wake up in my bed at 3:33 a.m. exactly, as if I never left. Jake felt a chill run down his spine. This was getting into territory that went beyond typical paranormal experiences. What happens if you stay awake past 3:33 a.m.? I tried. I literally cannot stay awake. Around 3:30 a.m., no matter how much coffee I drink or how hard I try, I fall asleep. And I wake up at 3:33, back in my apartment. Over the next 3 days, you helped me understand continued updating the thread. The changes were accelerating. The bedroom door had moved again, now several feet from its original position. The bathroom mirror had doubled in size. The kitchen had gained a window that definitely hadn't been there before, a window that looked out onto a view that didn't match the apartment's actual location on the 3rd floor. I can see a forest through the new window, the poster wrote. But I live in downtown Seattle. There's no forest visible from any window in my building. Jake wasn't the only one deeply invested in the thread now. It had gained thousands of upvotes, and users from around the world were following the updates. Some were trying to help, others were calling it an elaborate fiction, but a small group claimed they were experiencing similar phenomena. Dimensional Observer wrote, "I've been researching this for years. What you're describing sounds like reality integration failure. Your physical space is phasing between dimensions, and you're becoming anchored to the transitional state. The fact that it always resets at 3:33 a.m. suggests a temporal loop element." Jake reached out to Dimensional Observer privately. "Do you have any evidence of this theory? Any documented cases?" The response was chilling. "I have 17 documented cases going back to 1987. None of the subjects are still contactable. The pattern is always the same. Progressive spatial changes, temporal anchoring to a specific time, inability to perceive the changes by most observers, and then disappearance. The last update is always abrupt, mid-sentence, as if they cease to exist mid-thought. What do you think happens to them?" "I think they complete the dimensional shift. They are no longer in our reality." Jake immediately messaged you, "Help me understand. You need to document everything. Set up live streams. Record video constantly. Leave evidence of your existence with people who can verify it." But the updates became increasingly disturbing. The apartment was no longer even pretending to follow normal physics. The ceiling had stars visible through it despite being in a sealed building. The walls were growing organic textures, like bark or coral. And you helped me understand reported seeing figures in the peripheral vision, humanoid shapes that vanish when looked at directly. "I think they are already here," the poster wrote. "Whatever exists in the space my apartment is shifting into. They are waiting for the transition to complete." On October 20th, exactly 1 week after the original post, you helped me understand set up a live stream. Thousands of viewers tuned in, watching the increasingly impossible apartment. The chat was split between believers and skeptics, but even the skeptics had to admit the footage was unlike any hoax they'd seen. The stream showed an apartment that looked like it existed in multiple realities simultaneously. Familiar furniture coexisted with structures that couldn't be, crystalline formations growing from the floor, doorways that led to rooms larger than the entire building should be, windows showing impossible vistas. At 3:30 a.m., you helped me understand spoke directly to the camera. "I'm going to try to stay awake. I've taken stimulants. I'm standing in cold water. I've done everything I can think of. If I can make it past 3:33, maybe the loop breaks." The chat erupted with encouragement and warnings. Jake watched, unable to look away, as the clock ticked toward 3:33. At 3:32, you helped me understand's eyes began to droop despite visible effort to stay awake. At 3 hours, 32 minutes, and 47 seconds, the poster collapsed, not falling asleep, but simply ceasing to be conscious as if someone had flipped a switch. And then, at exactly 3:33 a.m., the live stream showed something that made Jake's blood run cold. Figures emerged from the impossible doorways and windows. Dozens of them, humanoid but wrong, moving with an unnatural fluidity. They surrounded the unconscious poster, and one by one, they began to merge, absorb. Jake couldn't find the right word for what he was watching. The figures seemed to be integrating the physical form of you helped me understand into themselves, as if the poster was becoming part of them. The chat exploded with reactions. Terror, disbelief, calls to contact authorities. But before anyone could act, the stream cut off abruptly at 3 hours, 33 minutes, and 47 seconds. The Reddit account you helped me understand became inactive. The apartment in question, when Jake managed to track down its address through metadata in the original photos, was found to be abandoned. According to the landlord, no one had lived there for over a year. The lease record showed no tenant matching you help me understand description had ever rented the unit. But here's what made Jake's investigation even more disturbing. When he tried to pull up the original Reddit post to share with authorities, it was gone. Not deleted. Gone as if it had never existed. No archived versions existed. No cache pages. Nothing. Except Jake had screenshots. He had his conversation logs. And he had the live stream downloaded on his hard drive. 3 hours and 33 minutes of footage showing an apartment that shouldn't exist. He shared it with 2 other moderators privately. Both watched it and agreed it was the most disturbing thing they'd ever seen. Jake uploaded it to a private server, encrypted and backed up in multiple locations. 3 days later, both moderators contacted Jake saying they no longer had any memory of watching the video. They had no recollection of the entire You Help Me Understand thread. When Jake tried to show them the downloaded footage, it wouldn't play. The file appeared corrupted. Jake still has the file. He has tried everything to recover it, but it remains stubbornly unplayable. He has his screenshots, his conversation logs, his memories, but no one else remembers it. Except sometimes, late at night, Jake receives messages from new throwaway accounts, always created that same night, always posting at 3:33 a.m., all telling variations of the same story. My apartment is changing and no one else notices. Jake doesn't respond anymore. He's learned that trying to help makes him more invested, more connected to whatever is happening, because he's noticed something in his own apartment recently. Small things. The bedroom door is 3 inches to the left of where it used to be. The bathroom sink is lower. And there's a new window in his kitchen that shows a forest that shouldn't be there. Jake has set an alarm for 3:30 a.m. every night. So far, he's managed to stay awake past 3:33. But each night it gets harder. The pull toward unconsciousness grows stronger. And in his peripheral vision, he's starting to see figures. He's documenting everything. Posting to his private blog, emailing friends, leaving evidence. But he knows how this ends. He's read the pattern 17 times over in New Dimensional Observer's research. If you're reading this, and your living space starts changing in ways others can't see, leave immediately. Don't try to understand. Don't try to fight it. Don't post about it on Reddit seeking answers, because some questions attract attention. And some attention comes from places that exist in the spaces between realities, waiting for someone to notice them noticing back. Jake's last blog post was at 3:32 a.m. this morning. It ended mid-send.